Boom, we're going. Drake, how are you?
I'm doing good. How the boys doing here?
The boys are doing good. We're what is today? Monday?
Monday, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
See, that's how you know you're having a good week when you don't
Yeah.
even know. You're just flying.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How's your morning? You got a
It was
workout
good.
in?
Yeah, got her done with. Monday morning's always the worst one, but
Is
we're,
it?
We're going now. The
How
rest of the week will be good.
How many days a week do you train?
Just Monday through Friday.
Yeah?
I take the weekends off and spend lots of time on the course. So
Just bring the mic up just a little bit. There you go. That's
got it.
perfect right
Good.
there. Yeah, so you're on the course all weekend?
Yeah, down at Chemo there in the valley. That's where.
Yeah.
That's where I'm from. So that's where I've been golfing since I was a kid.
It's such a great province. Like whenever we talk about all the hockey guys that come back here, and you could be in Las Vegas for the fights if you want to be, I'm sure. But everyone just comes back here because it's such a great province to be in for the summer. I'm so fortunate to live here. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I mean, me and all the other pro guys love coming back here, and we got some good skates going here in the summertime, and obviously the golf's awesome down here. So no, it's good.
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. I know you're probably working your ass off right now trying to get that new contract going. So I appreciate you taking the time and being here. It really does mean a lot to me and the company.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Dude, no worries. We the intro for the podcast, I was talking about your story and how whenever there's a story of a kid that maybe doesn't make a team right away, your name always gets brought up. It's like, don't worry, Drake did it. It's a common saying almost in Nova Scotia now. It's like, it's okay if you don't get that first crack at the squad. It's okay. Look at a guy like Drake who did it, and there's so many other stories like you. But for some reason, you're always the forefront to that conversation, I guess you could say. I guess the first question should be: has it all settled in for you? Like, do you feel like a certified NHL player right now? Has it all set in, or do you still wake up every day and go, holy shit, I'm actually here right now?
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a long journey for sure. I was cut from, a lot of teams growing up, and it wasn't until I was about 14, 15, 16 that I started getting cut from teams because I was always a smaller guy, and, there was no hitting and stuff when we were younger, I was able to dominate pretty good. But, once we got to under 16s, I remember getting cut from that team where Team Nova Scotia goes up to Quebec there for the
Pee Wee tournament.
Yeah, no, not the Pee Wee tournament. The U16. It's like a Q Combine tournament.
Okay, sorry.
So that was one of the first teams I got cut from. Pretty disappointed, but went back. Played midget the next year, and so it all started from there. And then here I am today, I guess. And even my first 3 years pro, I was just still trying to crack the NHL and get a full-time role. I mean, I only played 20 games or so my first 2 years, and to have a full season under my belt last year was definitely nice and a lot less stressful for sure.
It must have been nice going into. I always talk to these guys that are kind of on the fringe of going pro that are still in junior, and we always talk about comfortability level first year pro. It doesn't have to be NHL or AHL, but you got Rookie of the Year in the AHL your first year going there. You must have surprised yourself a little bit.
Yeah, no, for sure. I remember my first game in the AHL that year. I sat back and thought to myself, this is going to be a long year. I didn't realize how good the league was, and then I just kind of got my feet wet and kind of got going around game 5, 6 and got in a groove. Was playing a lot of minutes, got put on the power play and stuff right off the bat, so got put in positions to succeed right away, and was able to play with some great players and have a good season for sure.
100%. It must be nice going into that, I guess, year, just knowing that you have that confidence to play at the pro level, because there's so we all hear those stories of guys that dominate in junior and maybe it just doesn't translate over to pro, and to be able to have that confidence in the first year, just knowing, okay, wow, there is a little bit something there. It's something to work off of. It must be nice just going home at night, going to sleep and going, okay, great, that's a great start, but I can get better. It just must be like a nice confidence builder for that first year pro at least.
Yeah, no, 100%. I remember, after the World Juniors, I really, thought to myself, I'll be able to be a difference maker at a higher level. And, going into first year pro, I knew there'd be some growing pains, but, I did it at the World Junior level, so I figured I could do it there. And, it just took some time, like anyone going into any new league, and there's always some growing pains, but once you get going, I think, and get comfortable, you really find your game.
I want to talk about your childhood and your dad playing pro hockey and moving from place to place. I know you were born in Indiana?
Fort Wayne, Indiana. Never been back.
Never been back?
No.
I'm sure they have a sign there, like home of Drake Batherson, just not never been back.
Yeah.
But what do you remember about your childhood and moving from, I guess, team? Because your dad played for the PEI Senators.
Yeah.
Were you alive then?
No, that was a few years before
okay.
me. So I was born right at the end of my dad's pro season, and it was in the end of April. So
Yeah.
he just finished playing, and I was born, and it was about 2 months later we moved over to Germany. So I wasn't really in the States for a long period at all, but
Yeah.
still got my passport and everything there. But
Do you have dual citizenship right now?
yeah. Well, I actually have three
You have three.
because I lived in Germany for such a long time. I was there for 8 years. But you can only have two at a time. So right now I only have my Canadian one.
Okay.
But I could get my American one anytime I
Just
want.
like that.
Yeah, it's nice for travel. I heard so.
So
fun.
then, how did everything settle in the Valley?
Yeah, so my mom's parents are from the Valley, and my dad finished playing pro in Germany. He was 37. It was right when my sister was about to go to school. So
Okay.
I went to school in Germany for my grade 1, 2, 3, and then my sister was getting ready to go to school. My dad wanted her to be in English school. So he decided to retire. They won the championship, so it was a perfect time to retire. And all my family, my mom's side of the family lives in the Valley, so just a perfect fit. And we were only in the Valley for like 2 years after he retired, and then my dad got a coaching job at St. Evac, assistant coach. So lived in Antigonish for 3 years, and then been in the Valley ever since I was 12. So
Since you were 12 years old, you've been
Yeah.
there.
yeah,
What's it like? I grew up in like the suburbs of the city. There's, we're causing trouble every now and then.
Yeah.
What's it like growing up like in the Valley, being a 12-year-old? Like, just street hawk. Like, what do you pick apples? What are you doing?
It's pretty easy living down there. My grandfather was a big fisherman and hunter, so we'd be doing stuff in the woods all the time. Building tree forts, all that kind of stuff, and was able to live right behind Kemo Golf Course. So golf there every day in the summer. I didn't really play hockey at all in the summer. I never went on the ice or anything like that.
Really?
Yeah. So once the season would end, whenever it ends, like March or April, I wouldn't touch the ice till maybe a week or two before the season,
Wow.
like the following August or so. So no, worked at the course and golfed at Kemo. So that was my summer pretty much.
I've heard I've never had a summer job at a golf course, but I've had buddies who like worked at Ashburn in the summer, and they say it's one of the best summer jobs working at a golf course. One, you could get some good tips if you caddy every now and then, and just driving the golf carts around. Like it's a fun job as a kid. I've heard. You have a good experience with it?
Yeah, no, I was actually lucky. I was living in Antigonish, and one of my best buddies' dad was the manager at the golf course, and he hired me when I was like 11. So I've been driving carts, cleaning clubs ever since I was 11. So I did that probably for 5-6 years till I started playing major junior. So
Yeah, that's sick.
I did it for a while. It was an unbelievable job, and some of the same faces still working at Kemo when I was working there, so it's pretty cool.
That must be nice to go back and just see some of the same guys. Like, how you doing? Nothing's changed. I'm just in the NHL now. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, no, it's nice. I feel right at home. Obviously, I know everyone at the course because I worked there for so long. So, it's pretty cool now.
That's
sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about. I guess essentially, we'll let's start at junior. Yeah, let's start at junior. Is everything good everything's good? Let's start junior. The getting drafted and then not making the team and then going back to junior A, and then your mindset and staying strong. And I guess I don't want to ask a question to assume that you would be where you are now, because obviously when you're that young, you have no idea what your future is going to predict. Obviously you have certain goals and you want to make the NHL and you want things to happen, but I guess I just want to talk about your mental strength of maybe not making that roster, that first team. And when you're answering it, try to answer it in a way of, a 14, 15-year-old kid is listening to you right now, maybe going through that same, I guess, situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, mine was a pretty tough scenario. I was 17, so I didn't get drafted my first year in the queue. Got picked sixth round, I think, my second year. And, went into camp, had a great camp, and it came down to me and my best buddy, Declan Smith, for the last spot. And Declan was, he had a great camp, was a great junior player, and he was more ready for sure for junior than I was at that point. So it was pretty tough, getting sent down to junior A. Obviously when it comes down to you and your best buddy, it's pretty hard. But lucky enough we get to play together in the end. But no, yeah, getting sent down to junior A. I remember calling my old man. He had to drive all the way up to Sydney from the Valley to pick me up. So it was a long car ride home for sure. But and then I had a tough season. Honestly, I only played I think 25 games that whole year. I came down with pneumonia. Probably missed a month and a half, and it was my grade 12 year of high school too. So I didn't even go to school for a month and a half.
Did you go to prom?
Yeah, I was able to go to prom in the end. I got back just before the playoffs that year in junior A, but I remember that year I scored my last goal in like December. So the next 4 months it went without a goal. So no, it was tough. I just playing Xbox for a month straight in my grade 12 year in my mom's basement. So no, it was tough for sure. But and then I remember that summer I was at Cavendish and talking to my buddies that I played against, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna continue playing hockey and stuff because I was a good golfer at that point.
Like really good? Like,
Yeah, I was winning like provincial events across
really?
Nova Scotia, and yeah, there's a lot of guys from here that went and got scholarships down to the States.
Dude, no idea you were that good at golf. That's sick.
Yeah, so it was like I was a scratch golfer ever since I was probably 15 years old. Well, now it's a little rusty. I had
Whoa.
to pay a little more attention to
Yeah.
the hockey now. But back then I thought about just going golf full time. And I remember telling my buddies at Cavendish, like, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to play next year and stuff. And then, so it was pretty crazy for sure. And then probably halfway through that summer, like, I said this before, but like I could spend the whole day in the rink, but I could never spend the whole day on the driving range. So I kind of knew right there that I should probably just stick with hockey, and ended up growing a bit, and had a great summer. Put on probably 25 pounds, grew to 6'1", and then made major junior the following season, and got drafted 6 months after that. So it's pretty crazy.
That is kind of
Yeah.
insane. The fact that you even had a conversation with someone, I don't care who it is, the fact that you had a conversation about quitting hockey, and then for that to happen the next year, that's insane. That's
Yeah.
like fate, kind of.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, it was crazy for sure that it came to that point, looking back at it now for sure.
When you cracked the roster for Cape Breton, what line were you on to start the season?
You know what? I was getting healthy scratch. Yeah. So probably got scratched 4 times in the first half of that season. I was 18 years old, so that's most guys' third year in the league, and I was, getting scratched. And I remember one game there was an opportunity for me to go on, the first line. His name was Giovanni Fiore, led the league in goals. I think he had 53 goals that year. I got to play with him on a line, and just kind of clicked. Probably went only 3 games the rest of the year without a point. Once I started playing with him, so obviously setting him up was nice, and just kind of exposed myself to the scouts that that I could play, and Ottawa took a chance on me in the 4th round, and the rest is history, I guess.
Dude, talk about taking advantage of an opportunity that was given to you, even though nothing was really given to you other than that small one game where you get to go on the first line and then you never look back. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah, I remember talking to my coach. It was just before the trade deadline, and I didn't have a bad start, but I didn't have a great start, and just wasn't playing and still getting scratched and stuff. And I remember sitting down with him and just just talking with him, and I just wanted more of an opportunity. And if it wasn't going to be here, I'd like to get traded. And he's like, "Well, I'll give you an opportunity tomorrow night with Gio." And I think I set him up for 2 goals or whatever,
Yeah,
and then never came off that line, and we had a good playoffs, and yeah. No, it's pretty cool.
So at what point because this would be, it was the next year that World Junior Buzz would come into play.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that year, it would be the next year.
Next year,
Okay,
yeah.
so let's talk about that summer then, in between the transition of having an incredible, I guess you could technically say your first full year in the Q,
Yep.
to your second year in the Q where you're starting to build up a little bit of a name. Talk about that summer and what you were thinking. Were you thinking World Juniors? I guess is my real question. Were you thinking World Juniors at all?
Yeah, so I went to development camp, and that was just the the best thing I could ever
Okay, so
imagine.
you went to development
Yeah,
camp. Okay.
so that summer, right after the draft, and I went in with kind of a no-namer. I was a 4th rounder, and just happy to be there, and then I just kind of said to myself, I'm as good as these guys, and if I put the work in, I can potentially play pro one day. And yeah, I just had a really good development camp, and then came into the season with a lot of confidence in Cape Breton. And I remember telling my family members my goals to get an invite to the World Juniors, and obviously it was a long shot at that point. Only had 1 year junior under my belt, but that was my goal. And came out start of that season. I think I was leading the queue in points for the first 2 or 3 months, and ended up getting that invite to World Junior Camp. Yeah.
So when you get the invite, what's running through your head? Call parents, call coach, call line mate. What are you thinking?
It was kind of a crazy story. I was playing in the Canada-Russia series there that the Q always does. And
Where was it that year?
It was in Charlottetown in Moncton.
Nice.
So it was nice. My family could come to both of the games, and that was in early November, and the World Juniors starts. The camp starts December 12th, around that. So 2 games after the Q Canada-Russia, I broke my finger. So I broke my finger probably end of November. And I said, there goes my shot of getting an invite, because I know there was chatter and stuff like that, and they were watching me. But I went up to Ottawa to rehab my finger, and I remember being in the trainer's office, and he got the call from the Team Canada doctor, and they asked if I was going to be able to go to the camp still.
Yeah.
So he said, Drake will be ready to go. So I played probably wasn't fully rehabbed, but I'll do anything to put on that jersey. For
100%. What finger was it? Can I see it?
It was my pinky finger there.
Is it the slice right there?
Yeah, I think I had 8 stitches. Just blew up.
What happened? Like you just blocked a shot?
Just a slash. Yeah.
Oh, fucker.
I didn't even notice till 2 shifts later. My whole glove was all blood.
That's the thing when those injuries happen, you don't even notice. I got my front tooth knocked out. I didn't notice till the end of the period. Like I take my mouth guard out and it falls out, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? You don't even notice.
Yeah, it was just on a shot. I went to shoot, and buddy got a pretty good 2-hander on me, and it just blew up. And I remember being in Moncton's dressing room 2 weeks before for the Q series, and it was the same trainer that we had for the game, and he sewed me right up. And I was out I probably missed close to 10 games, and came back. I think 1 game before I went to the World Junior tryout, and had a good tryout and was able to make that team.
How was the World Juniors? That's probably one of the. I guess I could say it's probably the last World Juniors that I remember. Because I'm pretty sure that was the last World Juniors where Canada won and there was fans. Is that correct?
2021 there was fans.
2021 there was fans, but they didn't win in.
No, 2020.
2020 they won and there was fans. Oh yeah, because Igor was in Russia.
Czech Republic.
Yeah, and the year after me was Vancouver too.
But there was no. Was there fans in Vancouver?
Yeah, Dobson and Shane Bowers and them were playing that year.
Well, nonetheless, I remember your World Juniors, one from the outdoor game.
Yeah.
And 2 because you were in it and I heard your story about where you came from and everything that happened before making that roster. So those 2 things always stick out in my mind of that World Juniors. But that outdoor game, magical.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Magical.
I remember we went the day before to get a practice in, and the ice was pretty sloppy. They just kind of put it together there, and we were playing in the Buffalo Bills Stadium, so it was pretty sweet. And I remember pulling into the game the following day, and everyone's tailgating in the parking lot, and I think there ended up being 46,000 at the game, and it was just a snowstorm the whole game. So it's probably the sloppiest game I ever played in. But they had to take timeouts just to get the snow off the ice probably every 5 minutes. I think my parents said they were in the stands for over 4 hours for the game. And I know we ended up losing in a shootout, but it was a great experience.
I would have been thinking of Sid the whole time because that's the same rink he got the shootout winner.
Yeah, I went the shootout too.
What?
I was
You were in the shootout?
I had to score to keep it going, and I missed.
Oh no! What was the shot? Do you remember it? You must.
Yeah, I tried to go fake shot backhand, and the goalie just got a paddle on it. I had him beat. I just kind of fanned on it.
Well, the ice. How was the ice on the shootout? It must have been shitty.
Yeah, no, they scraped it right before we went, and I was pretty nerve-wracking. I didn't really play a whole lot in the third, and I think I got 1 shift in overtime, and then throws me out in the shootout there. It was pretty cold, but
that was
whatever.
That's Dom's fault. That's not your fault. Don't worry about that.
No, but it was pretty nerve-wracking for sure. But anyways, we ended up winning gold. So
yeah, exactly.
That's all that matters.
Doesn't matter.
Brady Kachuk was on the other team. He always gives me shit. He says, "Well, they only remember the outdoor games from that year." So.
How are you guys boys in the dressing room? Are you guys friends?
Yeah, no, we're tight. We got a young team. I mean, so all of us young guys are kind of going through the same thing right now. We're just getting all of our feet wet. So we have a lot of fun too. It's a real good time.
You guys are a very exciting team to watch on TV. I know it wasn't the outcome you wanted this year, but when you talk about potential in an NHL roster, you guys are probably the top 5 team most fun to watch. If Ottawa's on TV, I'm having a good time watching it. It's fun.
Yeah, no, we definitely play hard every night, and that's what our coach preaches, and the players respect that, and we just have a lot of fun at the rink, so it's easy coming in and working hard and just trying to win games, and it's great. Did
Tim fit into the dressing room right away, or did it take? Because how's his English?
It's actually pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Did he fit in?
Oh yeah, right away. He came in. He was late coming in because of the World Juniors. Yeah. But, he's an awesome guy. I knew him a bit before. My dad and his agent are pretty good buddies because they played together over in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
So, we were texting and stuff before. But, no, he fit right in. He's an 18-year-old kid. He's a 2002 born, so he's 4 years younger than me. And, I consider myself young. And for him to play at 18 and be so good, it's, incredible.
How do you find your, this is the first time the whole year you're with Ottawa. How did you find your play? How did you find your confidence? I thought you played great, but you being your own player, how do you think you did?
Yeah, no, it was good. Obviously, like I said before, it takes time when you get into a new league to get your feet wet. And I was on the power play the whole season. Obviously, the coach put me in some positions to succeed and played with some great players right from the get-go. So, I got to thank those guys. And just I think the more you get comfortable, the more confidence you get. And I went on that goal streak there at one point in the season.
You were on fire,
which gave me a lot of confidence. And the older guys on the team were just so great and welcoming. And like I said, we had such a fun dressing room that it was just, so easy to get things going in there and just have fun.
I thought the one thing I noticed about you this year, which impressed me compared to other years, was whenever you were under pressure, you were able to make the right decision and not panic. You got the puck to where it needed to go. And I think that overall is what makes a secure NHL player, of not turning the puck over, making the right play and not panicking and chipping when you need to chip and putting the puck to a guy maybe swinging through the middle, whatever it is. Where does that come from? Because I guess you can teach that skill, but at the end of the day, you just need repetition in order to build that confidence. Where do you think it came from not panicking so much?
Yeah, I've always kind of had a pretty good hockey IQ. I think, I was a smaller guy growing up, so I always had to make, quick plays when I got the puck and, put myself in good positions. So I've kind of learned just throughout the years, and now that I'm a bigger guy, I can use my body more and stuff like that. So no, I think just I've been at the rink since I was, 1, 2 years old, watching my dad play and just watching hockey ever since I can remember. And, I'm a huge hockey fan. I go home even now and watch, every game I can. So
really,
yeah,
you were really okay.
Yeah, I'll come home on a practice day and just can't wait for the first game to come on, whether it's Leafs games or whoever. I'll watch them and then, watch a game out west. So I'll watch probably 2 games a day. So no, I just honestly love it. And I'm always studying it, and wouldn't want to be doing anything else. And I think it just comes from that, just learning and watching video. I watch a lot of my own video to just learn when to make the right play. And obviously in the NHL, if you make a tiny mistake, it could lead to a scoring chance. And in the NHL, it could easily end up in the back of your net. So you always got to be aware.
That's the thing too about the NHL. There's no hiding. Junior, maybe there's a camera everywhere on every player.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake, you're going to get called into the coach's office at intermission and be told about it.
Yeah, 100%. The mistake could start 30 seconds before the goal happens too, right? So people don't really realize that it could start from a turnover, in the opposite end that leads to the goal, and the coach knows that for sure when you get back to the bench. So
yeah. In terms of leadership, or in terms of guidance or just getting advice from someone at the pro level, it could be on your team, it could be someone locally, it could be anyone. Who's maybe that one person that's maybe gave you a little bit of advice and it's kind of stuck to you a little bit more than the other pieces of advice?
Yeah, I think my dad's probably been my biggest supporter in that category for sure. I mean, he played the game. I think he played 14, 15 years pro. My grandfather played. My uncle, who lives in the Valley, played in the NHL for almost 300 games. So I got a lot of people that are close to me with a lot of experience, and so I get a lot of info from them for sure. And the biggest thing is just have fun and work hard. And my uncle and my dad, both made it through hard work and just determination. So I think I have a little bit of that in me to start, and just kind of. Just always worked hard, and I have such a passion for the game, and I wasn't going to let, being cut from teams when I was younger stop me to play hockey, whether it was going from major junior to university or, major junior to the NHL. I was going to play as long as I could.
Attaboy.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip the question on you.
Yeah.
Igor has great things to say about you when it comes to leadership and just being a good friend and being a good person. He came on the podcast probably last year, and he was just... He's a huge fan of you, of how you took him under his wing when he came to Cape Breton, didn't know any English, and you took the time to help him, I guess, just socialize with other people, not even on the team, just in general in everyday life. Talk about, I guess, that and that role you took with Igor.
Yeah, no, I remember my billets saying we might get the import for the season. I was pretty fired up. I always like living with someone in junior. It's always fun, So, I got Igor in and couldn't speak a lick of English, right? So... And, we had a lot of Maritimers on that team in Cape Breton. So, I had a lot of buddies, and we'd be always doing stuff, whether it was going to the movies or, going to the beach or whatever in training camp. And, he'd always just tag along. I'd bring him with me. And I don't know if he wanted to go sometimes, but, I'd drag him along with me, whether it was going to Tim Hortons or, whatever it was. And he's an awesome guy, and I'm so happy for Igor, and to be able to be there when he came over to Canada and help him out was awesome.
What was your favorite order at Tim's? You wanted me to ask you that. What's your drink at Tim's?
In junior, my trainer won't like this, but ice cap. I was a big ice cap guy from Tim Hortons.
all the sugar?
Oh yeah, probably 50 grams of sugar in that thing. But me and Igor went down for a couple of those for sure.
You're young. You're still young. Who cares? Sugar won't affect you.
I didn't know anything back then, so.
And then I heard your parents called you, or you acted like George Costanza when you were a kid. Why is that?
George Costanza. Who's that? George Costanza.
From Seinfeld.
No, I don't.
They said that you used to like take your clothes off and run around the house because you're George Costanza.
Oh, no. I don't
Huey
remember.
sent me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Probably. Jeez, I haven't talked about that in forever. But no, Huey's a beauty. He would remember something like that. But yeah, I was probably running around doing all sorts of different stuff, just trying to get someone to play hockey with me or whatever.
All right, that's fair enough.
Jeez, you caught me on that one.
What?
I didn't know that one.
I didn't get.
Yeah.
We didn't even explain the full story. You just said
Yeah.
you were younger and you used to act like George Costanza and take your clothes off. I was like, all right, hopefully he knows what that is.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, Huey, come on now. Throwing a curveball at me.
Coming on to was that your phone that dropped? Oh, good.
All good.
Can we edit that out? No, we'll keep it in. It was funny.
Oh, well, you heard the drop. That's it.
How exciting was it this year, knowing, I guess you built a lot of momentum going into next year? Like, it wasn't like a flop of a season. It was like, okay, there's so much potential here. How much fun is that, knowing that around the corner could be a huge opportunity for you and the organization?
Yeah, it was great. We really found our stride probably, 25 games into the season, I think. And, we were close to 500 against Toronto. I think they might have beat us 5-4 in the season series. So, and they finished first place in our division. So, right there we knew that, we could beat anyone. And I think if we had a little better start, we'd be pushing for a playoff spot. And, looking at a team like Montreal, we beat them, more than they beat us this year. So it just shows how tight it is. And anyone can beat anyone on any given night, and just have to be consistent for the whole season, and you can get yourself in the playoffs, and anything can happen in the playoffs, obviously, as Montreal showed. So that's our mindset going in next year, just to be consistent for the full season, I think. And we get the guys to do some damage. So it's going to take some time for sure, but hopefully we can get it going starting next year.
How do the boys, or even you, find you played the same teams all year? How'd you find it? Was it frustrating at times? Like, I'm sure you wanted some fans,
Yeah, it was a little weird for sure, but there were 7 teams, so it wasn't too bad. It was like playing Major Bam growing up, and there's only 7 teams in the province, so I didn't find it that bad at all. Obviously, not being able to go out for dinner and stuff on the road was definitely challenging. A lot of Uber Eats this season, no, it was really fun, and we were lucky to be playing, so I was very fortunate to just be playing hockey for sure.
That's the thing. Like, even in junior, like this year, the Mooseheads only played Cape Breton and Charlottetown.
Yeah,
It's like, at least you got 7 teams.
yeah, no,
It's
exactly.
like there were even like major midget around here. I'm pretty sure everyone only played like 2 or 3 teams. It was like that for hockey for everyone.
Yeah, no, so we were definitely lucky just to even be playing, and it was still really, really fun. It was different for sure, playing teams 3 games in a row. Usually you're playing a different team every game, right?
Yeah.
So no, it wasn't fun playing against McDavid 3 games in a row, or anyone like that, but no, it was good.
That's true. Because were you matched up against him a lot?
I don't think my coach tried to have me out there against him.
Why
but,
not? You're quick. You can handle him.
Oh, geez, I don't think anyone can catch that guy in the league. Maybe 1 or 2 guys, but he's a special talent for sure. But it's fun going up against those guys, I think. And there's a couple superstars on each team, I feel like, in the Canadian division, and my line was always seemed to be matched up against the other team's top line. So it was great competition for sure.
I love the way Brown plays on your team. He's such a competitor.
Yeah.
Like, what's he must be a leader in the room. Like, the boys must look up to him.
Yeah, he's awesome. Me and him do a lot of video together.
Oh, yeah?
We're both right wingers, and he's been around for a little bit now, and he kind of took me under his wing my first couple of years, and we're great friends, and Yeah, no, he works his ass off, and he doesn't get tired out there. I change for him. I think he's gassed sometimes, and then he just finds another gear to go down and score a goal or take a break or something. But no, he's special for sure.
Man, the cardio you guys have is ridiculous. Like the amount of ice time some of you guys are putting up is crazy. I was looking at Dobson's ice time in New York one game. He played a ridiculous amount. It's like some of the ice time that you guys get is just crazy. Your cardio has to be through the roof.
Shabbat on our team, I think he leads the league in ice time. He plays like 25 to 30 minutes every night. And, I remember one time I went on for overtime for the first shift with him. Yeah. And then I waited 2 or 3 changes, and I went back out, and he was still out there. He's probably out there for 3.5 minutes, and I asked him after one game, I was like, Shabby, like, do you get tired out there after a shift? He goes, nah, like, rarely. Unless, like, we get hemmed in or something, I'm chasing someone around, I don't really get tired. So, I don't have that conditioning for sure, but, he's special.
Now that you mention it, sometimes when you guys are playing on TSN will put a clock in the corner. And what does it say? It'll be like Shabbat's current ice time, like with his shift, since an ice change or whatever, since a change, and it'll just be like 7 minutes. He'll be out there.
Yeah, nuts. It's crazy. Yeah, he could probably stay on the full overtime if he wanted to, I think.
He's good.
Yeah, he just flies around. It's so effortless, right? So
yeah, he got that big stick too.
Yeah.
It's like, I think Lindstrom had a huge stick, and he said that always helped him out.
Yeah, no, he's so skilled, and he's a special player, and we're happy to have him, definitely.
Have they announced for fans? Have they announced the schedule for next year?
No schedule or nothing yet. Not that I have heard of anyway. But yeah, hopefully we get a few fans back in the barn. I don't know what it's like. We're looking like up in Ontario. I've just been hanging low down here out east. So
did you find that it affected you at all not having fans? Or because most guys say when they're playing out there, they don't really notice the fans. They're playing the game. But other teams, like, oh, it's nice to have a little cheer in the crowd. Did you notice it at the end of the day?
Yeah, it was weird. Definitely the first couple games.
Yeah.
I asked guys who played in the bubble last year in Edmonton, and they said the first couple games is weird, and then after that, you just get settled in. But it's definitely weird. Like, once you score a goal, the whole rink's just kind of dead, right? Until you hear the goal horn go off, and it's usually a few seconds delayed, or if there's a fight or something, all you hear is the sticks just hit the ice, right? So
yeah,
no, it's definitely weird. But I think when you're in the game, like I don't even notice when there's fans there really, unless there's a scoring chance and you hear the roar or whatever. But even if it's sold out barn, I don't even notice that they're there when I'm playing.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Next year there should be.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah, no, hopefully.
What's the plan for this summer? You're just chilling here?
Yeah, no, I haven't left Nova Scotia probably 3 summers. Once I get home from the season, I just hang out here. I love it. All my family and all my buddies are still here, so I don't got anywhere to go. My buddies on my team are at the McGregor fight.
I was just gonna ask you.
So I was pretty jealous, but no, I just like hanging out down here. I go to Cabot once a summer and go golfing up there. That's probably my biggest trip.
Do you have your Cabot trip planned?
Yeah,
oh boy.
We're going up in end of July here, so me taking the old man up, so it'll be good.
That'll be awesome. I haven't been up there yet, but social media, it's like if you don't, you got to have Instagram to go. I'm pretty sure. Like you look at everyone's story, there's stuff at Cabot right now.
It's awesome, man. You would never think that's in Nova Scotia when you're there, but it's a special place and probably my favorite place I've been to golfing for sure.
Yeah, I got to get there for sure. It looks like an amazing course. What is it, like top 5 or top 10 in the world? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think the Cliffs is number 1 and the Links is number 3 or 4 in Canada. But Cabot's definitely top 10 in the world. Yeah.
Coolest person you've golfed with? Like you've just been chucked into a foursome with or something?
I've golfed with Sid and Nate before here.
Have you?
Yeah, so that's probably the coolest one a few summers ago. And I was just starting to play pro and never met either of them before and was able to go out golfing with them. Might have said 10 words the whole day, but I was just happy to be there, and they're great guys. So that was probably my coolest for sure.
How competitive were they?
Oh, so competitive. I think anything those guys do, they're competitive, whether it's 1-on-1, 3-on-3 on the ice, or golf or ping pong. They just go at it. It's awesome. Are you guys going to be skating this summer together? Do you know? Yeah, I'd imagine when they get back. I'm not sure what their schedule's like. They usually take a bit more time off than us younger guys, so we like to get right back into it. So hopefully we'll get some skates in here coming up. Your exit meetings. What did the coaches say that they want you to improve on this year, going into next year? Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me has always just been consistency. At pro you have to be so consistent. When you look at the top players around the NHL, they're producing on a nightly basis, if not every night. So For me, I just want to be consistent. My conditioning, I want to get better conditioning wise. Obviously, next year's an 82 game season. I'm playing close to 20 minutes a night. I need to have that top peak. So no, just focusing on that and just having a great summer, obviously, and just having a little bit of fun too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The diet wise.
Yeah.
82 game season, man. That's like, you got to put good things in your body. What's like, and I remember, who do we have we had Nate on the podcast, and he was talking about like different things that he put in his body in order to stay at his peak performance for 82 games. Cause I mean, that's a lot of hockey.
Oh yeah.
Like, what's that nutrition tip that you like that keeps you going?
Yeah, no, definitely in junior and my first couple years pro, I didn't really care. I just eat whatever. I tried
ice caps.
Yeah, cut those out pretty fast. But I just kind of ate whatever because I didn't really know better. Right, I'm coming from the valley. I never had a nutritionist or anything like that. I was never exposed to anything. So I've kind of learned over the years through development camps and stuff when nutritionists come in and talk. I've took things from them, and now I definitely watch what I'm eating for sure, and like to squeak in one meal junk food on the weekend, but just once.
Every time you say you're trying to squeak in junk food or just have some fun, you just got like an evil smile on right now. You're just like, I like to have some fun too.
You gotta have fun, right? I think everyone would go crazy if you don't.
100%.
Yeah.
Throughout the year, like, what do you guys like to do out in Ottawa? For fun.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like in Ottawa, most of the guys are with their wives or girlfriends. There's only a few of us. There might be 4 or 5 of us without a girlfriend or a wife living with us. So we usually go out for dinner almost every night, honestly, in Ottawa. We're pretty lucky. We get a chef for breakfast and lunch, so we're only on our own for dinner. And usually the boys meet up at a different restaurant every night. So we're pretty spoiled.
Every time we have a pro hockey player on here, and then they mention, oh yeah, like most of the boys are with their husband or their wife, I completely forget that there's that side of the game. I just think, everyone in the NHL is single, having fun, just making money, getting goals. Like, I completely forget it's a job and it's a living and it's it's a career for people.
Yeah, after the game, you're untying the skates and the boys' kids are playing mini sticks right beside you. So no, it's pretty cool though, for sure.
What was the biggest transition for you from even the AHL to the NHL? Was there one thing that you noticed?
Not much, honestly.
No,
very similar leagues. Obviously, there's so many guys that playing in the AHL that could play in the NHL. It's just opportunities and which organization you're in, right? So, no, there's not much difference, honestly. Just the little bit here and there. I mean, the guys in the NHL, they're so dialed, and like I said before, if there's one little turnover, they're usually going to capitalize on that to score. So, I think just that's probably the biggest thing in the AHL. You can maybe get away with a few more turnovers. In the NHL, you can't. So that's kind of the difference maker.
What flexes your stick?
I use 85. Pretty standard. Yeah.
What curve?
It's a pretty big curve. It's like I don't know. You might remember the Backstrom back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
something
so
like that. A little bit more toe. Even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah. You got a couple goals this year where it's like little really in tight to your skates and then that quick upstairs.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what the toe is.
No, I've always used kind of a bigger toe curve, I guess. But everyone's different. You look at Sid's curve. He's got the straightest blade in the league, and he has no problem scoring and stuff. And then Matthews and Ovi have a big curve, obviously. So just personal preference, honestly. There's no right or wrong curve, I don't think. So just whatever you like.
How do you deal with the time and space in the NHL and how quick you got to get the puck? Oh, sorry, how much time are we at, Mark?
43 minutes.
In the NHL, when you have to have your time is so limited and you have to get the puck off so quickly. How did you deal with that? Did that come natural to you, or did you get a little bit of advice from someone on how to get the puck off your stick so quickly? Because you do it so well.
Yeah. No, I think just being able to skate with Sid, Nate, and Marshy in the summer. I watch like when they're doing reps. If it's even like a little shooting drill, they're doing it as fast as they possibly can. And so I had always tried to do that in summer, try to keep up with them. And I think it just kind of taught me just to do everything at a fast pace. When I look at, say, a guy like Nate, like he's one of the fastest guys in the league, and so are his hands, and he's got a bullet of a shot. So he's kind of got all the package. So that's what everyone's trying to get. To be fast, get the shot off quick, and have fast hands. So I'm always working on it.
Do you ever look at your peripherals when you're about to take a shot? Because you don't want to be turning your head, going back to your stick, and then taking the shot. Do you ever work on your peripherals on getting a shot off rather than turning your head the whole way?
Yeah, I kind of, if I think I'm about to get the puck, I kind of run through plays in my head. If I know I get the puck and Brady's on his way to a back door, I know I can get it and pass to him back door. If I don't see anything, I'm gonna catch it and shoot it usually. So That's kind of what's running through my head, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of instincts too, but I try to visualize the play before I get the puck.
Really? Like even if you're on a 2-on-1, like
you kind of watching what the D's doing. If he's gonna dive down, like
So
just little things.
Sorry to interrupt you, but
Yeah.
like what are you watching on the defenseman on a 2-on-1? What tell are you looking for?
So, like the coaches before the game, say we're playing Vancouver, just for an example. Their D maybe like to slide on the 2-on-1s, right? So they'll go full body slide. So you either have to, make a quick sauce pass or, put on the brakes, let them slide by you, and then throw it over to your buddy. So you kind of know little things before you go into the games, but, it's kind of instincts, honestly. I'm not really thinking too much. I know that before I even get a 2-on-1.
Yeah, and that's the brilliance of the game. It's just you've been in the rink since you were 2, you said?
Yeah, exactly. I'm always watching hockey, so yeah, I watch every highlight when I wake up in the morning from the night before. I don't miss a beat. So no, I learn honestly, like growing up, the biggest thing, me and my dad would watch hockey all the time. If I was on my phone when a hockey game was on, he'd get pretty mad at me. He'd want me to watch like every little thing and just point out things. Yeah, that's honestly how I learned growing up, just watching the game.
And it's probably interesting how you're not watching as a fan, you're watching as a student.
Yeah.
Most of us, most people that watch are a fan, like shoot the puck, but you're watching little tendencies of people and mistakes they're making and little habits that they're creating on the ice. It's an interesting thing to, be in the NHL but study it and not watch it. It's cool.
No, exactly. Like I'll just watch the right wingers. Say I'll watch Mitch Marner if the Leafs are playing. Watch everything he does, the way he picks up pucks on the rims or makes plays, creates space, like just little things no one thinks about, right?
Yeah.
That I would look for. Most every fan's just kind of looking for the goals, the big hits, the fights. I kind of look at the little details for sure.
Well, you're probably looking for tells.
Yeah.
It's like if Marner, okay, say Marner is on a 2-on-1 and you're on the back check. I don't know. There's like you're just looking for little things where other players are going to make mistakes that you can capitalize. I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I would if I were
100%. I mean, I feel like it's like any sport. Like if we're playing the Leafs, we watch their breakouts, their everything, and if you're watching them all the time on your own, you kind of already know all that. So I like doing that.
There's so much hype going into Toronto. Is it annoying for the players, or do you love it?
I love it, man. Obviously, it's the Battle Ontario when we play them. We don't like each other, so we got a couple big wins on them this year that that they didn't like. So hopefully the rivalry continues, and I'm sure it will.
Because there's huge hype at Canada promotes Toronto like no other. Like just sport. You go to Sportsnet, it's people make fun of it because it's the Toronto net.
Yeah, when you definitely go to Toronto, it's definitely you feel like you're in the National League for sure.
So you feel it too.
Oh yeah, 100%. Just like any little thing from the hotels, going to the rink's awesome. Like music's blaring, like it's just every little detail is just so dialed in there and makes you feel like it's the NHL like every kid dreams of when you go in there for sure.
Could you compare Montreal and Toronto to the two? Maybe some similarities?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, they're both such big markets, and I definitely get fired up playing either of those teams, and they're always fun. So
is it interesting to go home and watch the highlights of yourself and see maybe certain things that they say about you? I know when you had a goal when you're on a bit of a what do you call it? A slump.
Yeah.
And you scored a goal. I think it was like 7 games since you scored. And the guy was like, oh, Drake Batherson, he's been nameless. No one's seen what he's been doing in the past 7 games, but he's playing well now.
Yeah.
Like, does that ever piss you off, or does that just go in one ear out the other?
Yes and no. I mean, for me, I only listen to really what my family members and my buddies have to say. They're so supportive for me, and whenever I score, my buddies are also fired up. So
yeah.
That's what gets me going, and honestly, the media. When I was younger, it probably would bother me more, but now it's my 3rd year, and I don't really go reading on Twitter a whole lot,
Yeah. Why would you?
Yeah.
You do as you're talking right now. You're talking like a fan. Like I just got to say it. It's like you're in the NHL, you're a player, but you're smiling. You're just. I feel like you're in that place where you realize what your future is gonna be, and you're extremely happy. It's really cool to see. It's really cool to see.
No, I definitely am a fan. Like I said earlier, I love watching the game. I love watching. My favorite team growing up was Pittsburgh, so love watching Sid, and obviously I skate with Marshy and Nate and those guys, so I always watch them too. So it's pretty cool.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. It's gonna be a great year for you. I can't wait to watch, and hopefully there'll be fans, and hopefully we can leave and come up and watch you, and hopefully we'll be able to travel and see you play, man. It'll be sick.
No, that'd be awesome. Yeah,
Dude.
hopefully it all comes together here soon.
Absolutely. What are you doing the rest of the day?
Not a whole lot, man. Just hanging out. Yeah, cook some dinner.
You cook?
little bit.
What do you cook?
Yeah, my go-to meal is probably like a burrito bowl or tacos or
Alright.
something easy, stir fry.
You ever have the habaneros?
Yeah, I've been there a few times.
They got a great burrito bowl.
Yeah, I love the Mexican place downtown there. It's called Antojos.
Oh, yeah.
I always seem to go there on the weekends, so it's a good time.
They got a good burrito. Jack's is good too. A couple good Mexican places. You like spice?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like sriracha?
Yeah, hot sauce, Frank's hot sauce and everything pretty much.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, dude.
big food guy for sure.
Oh yeah, what did Brady say about the fight? You must have been texting him.
Oh yeah, I was actually just texting him before. He said it was awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah, he said like the building's just electric. Like I asked him if it's as loud as it seems, and he's like, yeah, like way more than a hockey game would be. You wouldn't believe it. So
Really?
yeah, he was like 6 rows back, I think, from the cage.
He was with his brother and dad?
Yeah, I think he was. I know he was there with his brother for sure. I think his old man was going. I remember we were driving to Montreal, and the fight came out that McGregor was going to fight him in Vegas, and the boys were all buying tickets right away at the back of the bus. They're like, Drake, you want to come? I said, boys, I don't think the old quarantine's going to let me go from Halifax to Vegas, but
the quarantine bites again.
yeah. So no, I would have been there. There was an open ticket, so. No, it sucks, but what can you do?
The NHL life, I love it. The
Yeah.
boys just buying tickets on the back of the bus. That's awesome.
Could have easily told him to get me one, definitely. So, no, they had a good time, he said. It was wicked.
Whatever. You'll have more fun at Cabot.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
No, definitely.
Well, dude, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate this. It really means a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
I wish you the best this summer in training and everything, and we'll do it again next year.
Yeah, thanks to you guys. I'm a fan of the show, so I'll be listening.
Awesome. All right, everyone listening, thank you very much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Monday, have fun, work hard the rest of the week. We are out. Peace.